tuning in. Thank you for revisiting this page. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that you can see when I upload a new video or a new content. Big up to the nice, clean people them that coming from work and want a good content to watch. This will be over here. Make sure you share the content as well. Now, people, we're gonna jump into this one. Over 110 elderly was killed by gang members in Haiti, allegedly. No one don't come and speak about that. Over 110 elderly was killed in a massacre in Haiti. What is the problem, people? What they claim is the cause? Science again, science again. Hubakaba, science again. One of your enemy, I work upon your friend. Hubakaba, science again, science again, science again. Hubakaba, science again. Seriously. Seriously. So let's get into the content. We're not itch. I'm going to read for the best of my ability. So we're not itch. So let's dive in like what At least 110 mostly elderly people have been brutally murdered by gang members in Haitian capital, Port-au-Prince, according to human rights group. The National Human Rights Defense Network, or NDDH, said a local gang leader had targeted them after his son fell ill and died. The gang leader reportedly consulted a voodoo priest who blamed elderly locals practicing witchcraft for the boy's mystery illness. The United Nations said the number of people killed in Haiti so far for this year in spiral gang violence had reached a staggering of 5,000. This is upsetting people. Warning, rated R. I don't mean to offend you or upset you. Brace yourself. Adult content, please. Let's dive in some more. While details for the massacre are still emerging, the UN's human rights chief, Volker Turk, on Monday put the number of people killed over the weekend in violence orchestrated by the leader of a powerful gang at 184. So that's why I said earlier, over 110, mostly elderly people. According to the reports, gang members seized scores of residents aged over 60 from their homes in the Wharf Jemaba area, around them up, and then shot or stabbed them to death with knives and machetes. Right? So they were in the Raf Jeremiah area, okay? Resident reporting seeing multitude bodies. Right? Multitude of bodies, people. Mutilated bodies again. On top of that, bodies being burned in the streets. So imagine that you see people body in pieces and burning in the streets. Multiple. Mutilated. Mutilated in the streets. RNDDH estimates 60 were killed on Friday, while others 50 were rounded up and murdered on Saturday after the gang leader's son had died of his illness. While RNDDH said that all the victims were over 60, another rights group said some younger people had tried to protect the elderly had also been killed. Local media said the elderly people believed to be practitioners of voodoo had been singled out because the gang leader had been told his son's illness had been caused by them. So when we shout out, oh my, lost for words, wowzers. What we sing out? Science again, hubakaba, kubakaba, science again. Give them no right to kill the elderly. Can we say amen on that one? Let's continue. Rights groups said the man who had ordered the killings was Manel Felix, also known as Mecano. And we're going to say allegedly because he haven't been found guilty in the court of law. So we're going to say allegedly. Yes. Milano known to control Raf Jeremiah, a tragic area in the port of capital, according to Romain Lacour, Grand Mason, a Haiti expert at the Global Initiative Against Translation Crime, GTOC. The area is small but hard for security forces to penetrate. Local media said that the resident has been prevented from leaving Raf Jamai, right, by Mecano's gang, so news of deadly killings were slow to spread. The group forms part of Viv Anson Gang Alliance, which control much of the Haitian capital. Haiti has been engulfed in a wave of gang violence since the assassination in 2021 of the President Jovenel Moise. Remember that somebody went in a secure compound and killed that man, and then later on they charged his wife. Remember that story? Okay, let's move on. Data gathered by G1 TAC shows that there was a dead decline in murder of rate between May and September of this year, after rival gangs had reached in an easy truce. But attempts by the gangs to expand their territory beyond their strongholds in the capital have led to particular bloody incident in the past 2 months, with ordinary resident rather than rival gangs members being increasingly targeted people. So instead of they really fight with other gang members, they're basically killing just ordinary people. And it has increased. On 3rd of October, 115 locals were killed in the small town of Ponsode in the Artibonite department. That massacre was reportedly carried out the Grand Grif gang in retaliation from some resident joining a vigilante group to resist attempts by Grand Grif to extort locals. If confirmed, the death toll given by the UN for this weekend killing in Cité Salo would make it deadliest incident for this year. With gangs in control of estimate 85% of Port-au-Prince and increasingly large swathes of countryside, hundreds of thousands of Haitians have been forced to flee their homes. So that's why Donald Trump should even deport the rest of the other ones, because of this whole massacre that's going on and all of the gangs and stuff, allegedly. According to the International Organization for the Migration, more than 700,000 people, half of them are children, are internally displaced across the country. And that's where you're going to have people with rape and all of that. Gang members often use sexual abuse, including gang rape, right? Gang rape, right? Or grape, to sow terror among the local population. Okay, guys? So I'm not going to drag this out. So let's get to the news. Thank you for watching. And I had to come and drop this content, so to speak. You understand?
The White House is condemning a gang-led massacre in Haiti that targeted mainly elderly people. Nearly 200 people were killed. This is just the latest example of the growing violence in the country that has forced thousands from their homes, leaving many without food and other basic needs. I want to bring in Haiti and Caribbean correspondent with the Miami Herald, Jacqueline Charles, to talk more about this. So Jacqueline, first break down just exactly what happened.
Well, what we know so far is that a gang leader in Cité Soleil, who's actually part of this powerful coalition that tried to take down the government earlier this year, known as Vivre Ensemble, Living Together, his 6-year-old son was ill and subsequently died. But on the advice of a local voodoo priest, he was told that his son's illness was due to the elderly people in this particular area of Cité Soleil, which is the largest slum in the capital, an area named Waf Jeremy. So they went on a rampage starting from Friday night, well into the weekend. Even after the death, people were on lockdown. The numbers we've heard is as little as 110 to 184 plus. We still don't have a full accounting. People were shot, people were hacked with machetes, and then their bodies were burned.
It's just horrific.
You
How
hear
is
that,
the
people?
international community responding to this? And what are people on the ground saying? I mean, there's very little that people who have very little means are able to do against these gangsters who have weapons. But oftentimes, as you know, Jacqueline, when things really get to a tipping point, oftentimes the local people do take to the streets themselves and try to retaliate against the gangsters. What have we seen?
I have to tell you, the day that we, as journalists, started to hear this, we were all in shock. And then the next day,
I'm in
on
shock too.
Monday,
My
it
mouth
was like
is
the
wide open,
quietest day in
guys.
Port-au-Prince. People were telling us, you know, right? A lot of
Port-au-Prince.
people had not even heard about what happened. And I can tell you, as we speak right now, we are hearing reports of another massacre that happened just north of the capital in the Artibonite area, in a small town. So, you know, the violence has become just so untenable. But at the same time, we're not seeing the outrage, and even the government was
and it's
very
elderly
slow
people.
to
Let's
acknowledge
continue.
what
Let's
had
move on.
happened.
Let's move on, guys. Okay? Let's move on.
A massacre in Port-au-Prince. After accusations of witchcraft in a densely populated slum led to violent killings and left locals reeling.
Today, we heard that Meccano from Wharf Jeremy gang killed more than 100 people because his kid is sick, and he said that it's because of witches. Today, even a man like the Prime Minister can't stop them. The gang killed more than 100 people.
Human rights groups say a gang leader called Meccano Felix ordered the attack after his child became sick and died. He reportedly consulted a voodoo priest who accused elderly people in the area of harming the child through witchcraft, who were then targeted and executed by gang members.
It's criminal. Your son is sick, you're a gang leader, you blame the illness on witches, and you kill more than 100 people. It's hell, nothing more.
It's the latest brutal attack by gangs who increasingly control large areas of the Haitian capital. The UN say the number of people killed this year from gang violence has reached a staggering 5,000. But a UN support mission approved last October has only deployed a fraction of the promised personnel.
So we don't have to
left locals really.
So we don't have to actually drag it out. I'm sure you got the point. I'm sure you got the story. If you ever heard the story, then I'm assuming that your mouth is open wide. You'd be like, wowzers, really? Yeah. There's so many other stories out here that people could bring to a light, but I guess because they're working witchcraft and because it's all the way in Haiti and it's always something in Haiti, why anyone care? Remember, Haiti is one of the poorest country too, they say, in the world, and I'm not sure why all their resources have been taken and stuff like that. Not only that, they're all black people too as well, and a lot of people are there have different color, but I mean that majority of them are black. You know what I mean? So when you really think about it, it's a sad story. I mean, elderly as well, you know, and like I said, the gang members haven't been caught. I'm not sure, and if they have been caught, then at the end of the day, they haven't proven guilty in the court. So we have to say allegedly in this kind of story. But it's sickening, it is disheartening, and it's like I'm lost for words. Like I'm like, oh my, I had to come and shout it out. Like science again, huba kuba kaba kaba, science again. But nevertheless, killing so much people, right? And did they hear the story? He brought the baby not to the hospital, maybe possible not, but to a witchcraft doctor. You don't know if this doctor even lied to you and tell stories. And not only that, sometimes if you're a gang member, you know, you're killing people, they always say what fall off a shoulder fall on. And they always like what goes around comes around. And they say more time whatever you do or here to people, remember it will come around 10 times harder. So you never know. Okay, so at the end of the day, people, peace and love. Thank you for watching, and big up to the new subscribers, and big up for the ones who always come and revisit this page and watch out the content. Blessings.